Imagine a world where international students, the lifeblood of our academic institutions, are suddenly barred from entering the country. This is the reality that Harvard University faced when the Trump administration attempted to prevent the university from hosting international students. But here's where it gets controversial. The Trump administration recently asked a judge to dismiss Harvard's lawsuit, which challenges the administration's attempts to block international students from attending the university. This move comes after the administration submitted a stipulation to the court, stating they would not enforce the May 22 letter revoking Harvard Student and Exchange Visitor Program (SEVP) certification, a crucial requirement for hosting international students. Harvard initially filed its lawsuit in response to this revocation, but quickly amended its complaint when President Trump issued an executive proclamation on June 4, barring foreign students from entering the United States to attend Harvard. The university argued that this proclamation violated its First Amendment rights and was issued as retaliation for its protected speech. The administration's lawyers, however, are attempting to have the lawsuit dismissed by arguing that the May 22 revocation is now moot due to their recent filing. They also claim that the presidential proclamation is constitutional, stating that Trump has the authority to block foreign nationals from entering the U.S. based on a determination that their attendance at Harvard posed a serious risk to the nation. But this is the part most people miss. Harvard is challenging the administration's invocation of broad presidential powers under the Immigration and Nationality Act, arguing that it does not give Trump the authority to ban Harvard students from entering the U.S. on non-immigrant visas. U.S. District Judge Allison D. Burroughs will decide whether to dismiss the case, but so far, she hasn't appeared sympathetic to the government's logic. She granted Harvard 2 preliminary injunctions to block the proclamation and the May 22 SEVP revocation from taking effect. In her June 23 decision granting Harvard a preliminary injunction against the proclamation, she wrote that the proclamation lacked legitimate grounding and was unlikely to survive constitutional challenges. As the case unfolds, we're left with many questions. Will the government's recent stipulation succeed in removing the May 22 letter from the case? And what about the preliminary injunctions? Will they remain in effect, or will they be overturned on appeal? The Trump administration has already appealed the injunction for the proclamation, with its brief to the First Circuit Court of Appeals scheduled for August 25. Meanwhile, the government's Friday filing stated that the Department of Homeland Security's DHS formal notice of intent to withdraw Harvard's SEVP certification, issued on May 28, is still ongoing. This withdrawal notice gave the university 30 days to prove it had complied with regulations necessary to remain an SEVP-certified institution. And this is where it gets interesting. Harvard has not challenged the notice of intent to withdraw, but for a good reason. The White House has not yet made a decision on whether to withdraw Harvard's certification. Harvard's lawyers stated that the university will have to amend its complaint if it plans to challenge any future decision. After the 30-day window closed in late June, a Harvard spokesperson wrote that the university had responded to the notice, but without revealing the details of what documents had been shared with the government. Despite the ongoing legal battle, Harvard spokesperson Sarah E. Kennedy O'Reilly stated that the government's motion has no impact on the university's ability to enroll international students and scholars. However, she also emphasized that the government's May 22 revocation letter was unlawful. She added that the motion illustrates that the government recognizes the unlawful nature of its effort to revoke Harvard's SEVP certification in May. As the case continues to unfold, we're left with thought-provoking questions. What will happen to international students in the United States? Will the Trump administration's actions be deemed constitutional? And what does this mean for the future of higher education in America? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about this controversial issue.